You're inside something that you don't know, Mheshimiwa.
That's a question. That's why we follow the party. Don't we follow the rules of the party? And if you don't follow, they discipline you. And me, I've been disciplined many times, and therefore I don't need to be disciplined now, Manuel. So, the thing is, do we respect our party leader? When he stood at KICC, what did Baba meant to all of us? I mean, it's a question.
I, Caleb Amisi, will not vote for William Ruto.
So you go against the party position?
The only reason why I'll vote for William Ruto is when he changes his ways. I am not against William Ruto as a person. I'm against his leadership. He must change his ways of leading.
What should he change for you to vote for him?
He must put order. He must obey the constitution. That in everything he does and says in public, he must know that we have a constitution. You cannot just break it and make pronouncement that shows lawlessness.
Watu akiwemo huyu baba Raila Amolo Odinga, siku ile wataniambia Sifuna, sasa wewe umeanza kuwa na maadili tofauti na chama, nitawaachilia hii kiti bila fujo.
Well, a very good evening to you and welcome to Checkmate on Hot 96. Remember, when it is Sunday at 7 p.m., it's time for politics here on Hot 96. And today we have the pleasure of having two very fiery legislators, members of parliament from the ODM party. We didn't plan for it that way. Yeah, but there's one from Kanairo here, Mama Dago. Hebu salimia watu kwanza, tuanzie hapo Mheshimiwa.
Najua wengi wamekasirika. Mama Dago alisema si kabila moja inaleta presidency. Lakini nataka niwaambie leo, Kanairo hatuchezangi hiyo mchezo. Kanairo ni lazima tuheshimiane kwa sababu tunajua tunaishi kimoja. Lakini pia tuheshimu jamii zingine zote ili waheshimiane pia.
Sasa Mama Dago, we'll get to it. Wacha tuende tena Western, sasa Trans Nzoia County. We have member of parliament for Saboti, Caleb Amisi. Mheshimiwa,
asante.
Karibu sana. Salimia, tuma salamu Western. Unajua sasa leo hapa ni siku ya kutuma salamu.
Nimekuwa huko nikiwasalamia leo.
Kusalimia ile jenzia magari.
Sasa bado wako na salamu zangu, lakini nawaongezea zingine za jioni. Watu wangu wa Saboti, Magharibi na Kenya mzima.
Kabisa. It seems the orange is divided. Is it split or divided, or imeanza kuwa na uchungu fulani ndani ya chungwa? Sijui hali kwaje kwanza. We want to play something that happened in Kakamega, and I didn't see any of you in that event, which was on Friday. Baba was in Kakamega, and we want to start with what Edwin Sifuna said, your Secretary General.
Hata wewe kama una maneno ya kusema, unaweza itwa huko useme mambo yako. Enda pia wewe ujieleze. Kama hauna namba ya Ivono Kwara, sema saa hii nikupatie. Hao watu akiwemo huyu baba Raila Amolo Odinga, siku ile wataniambia Sifuna, sasa wewe umeanza kuwa na maadili tofauti na chama, nitawaachilia hii kiti bila fujo.
Sifuna on Friday. Let's now listen to Baba Raila Amolo Odinga.
Kama Sifuna ameongea, hakuna haki ya kuongea. Mimi sijasema ati mimi usiongee kwa chama namna hii. Sema hata kama unaona baba anafanya makosa, sema. Ndio ni mouthpiece ya chama.
Says Sifuna is the mouthpiece of the party and the mouthpiece ya chama. Haya, tusikize another wing of your party.
Zungumza na baba amesema tuko pamoja na President William Ruto, na wewe unasema kinyume. Basi wewe huzungumzi kwa niaba ya chama cha OD.
Yule mtu anazosema hiyo Maranda nimekufa ni baba peke yake. Yeye peke yake ndio anazosema hiyo Maranda ambayo tumesign imekufa ama haijakufa.
So the last person is Junet Mohammed, a minority leader in the National Assembly. Let's start from there. What do you make from all this confusion in your party?
A democratic right of everyone to express themselves, which I think that's what Baba says when he starts. He says everyone has a right to express themselves. He does not say everyone has a right to get off the lane and do things that are not right. But he allows you to use the D that is in ODM, democratic, that you have a right even to tell him that this is wrong. But I believe even when I would wish to express it to Baba, I will do it in a place where, even where Sifuna was. See, it was in an ODM space. And he said what he said. But this is what I want to say. You see, you are leading people, all of you. I have my SG and the whole team, chair, everyone. We are leading. And everyone would wish to hear this voice in a coherent manner, not in the way now we are going. It means some of us, we look at it and we wonder, is it that if we were today in government and things are very tough, what would we have done to Kenyans? It's like we fear the politics of unpopular politics, because when you are dealing with government and development, those politics are very unpopular.
Okay.
And you'll be unable, if you have never been used to, you'll be unable even to express yourself in the right way, to say this and this should happen. So you'd want always to speak in everything that pleases. But at this time, I would plead to all of them, please, let us not please, because now we are destroying the party. We are making people to get more confused. Can we have a stand? If we are in. If we are out. And out is out. Get out and do the right thing when you're out. And if we are in, let us do it right when we are in. The day we say we are going out, we go out the right way. So that, number one, people will have trust with us. So that, number two, people will respect us. That what we say as ODM, we say and we mean it. We said and we meant it. I don't know whether they meant it, but we meant it when they told us that we must safeguard the country. That even if ODM you'd want to come and take the country in 2027, I doubt whether you'll want to take a country in pieces. And no one would wish to hand over a country that is in pieces also. And that is why even when we stood that time with Uhuru, it was of the same. That let us not destroy Kenya for our own. And one thing about Baba and his uniqueness, which I think all of us in ODM, we don't have the grace to have that Baba has. That he looks at something and you might assume him, ignore him. But he has something unique. He looks beyond today for tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying if you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
If you're out, you're out.
In. You see, some of us, we don't know how to play this politics of, I say this today, tomorrow I'm saying, some of us, we don't know. We say as it is, and people sometimes will feel very angry, will hate us, will say you have said this, but you were saying it in a context that meant well. It's only that the words are so harsh that people will find it, why have you said that?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Caleb Amisi. What do you make of this situation in your party?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that the party we have been believing in, some of us have delivered seats from hostile ground, not because we didn't have local parties. It's because we believed in this party. The principles, the ideologies were aligned to what we stand for. And it is very unfortunate that as we anticipated that this is a party that will form a government that will finally erode all the bad governance we've been experiencing as a country. A government led by Raila Odinga, who has fought for this country, whom people have believed in so many ways, that we can just collapse right in our own eyes. It's very unfortunate to start with. And I want to agree with my sister here. I think she has been in politics more than I have been. As a young man, I don't mince my words. I don't really mince my words. We say what it is. You may like it, you may don't like it, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. when a party start cracking, it will never go back. Don't expect that if this thing continues like this for the next few months, there'll be no more ODM. You don't need to mince words about it. When the Democrats started going down during the Obama versus Clinton, the feminist agenda versus the black supremacist, and the separation thereof, it led now to Republican taking over. That's why now we had now the Trump of this world came as a result of the...
Who is the Trump of this country?
Yeah, when the ANC went down, you saw when now the Malema, the young people went with Malema, ANC has never recovered to a point whereby ANC has to make a coalition. It was unheard of for an ANC to make a coalition in South Africa. It was just an ANC government. But now when it started cracking by young people taking off with Malema, others with Zuma, and the cracks destroyed that party. Up to now, ANC cannot stand, and it is only going down. When KANU, when a clique of leaders led by Raila Odinga left KANU, Kalonzo Musyoka, George Saitoti, those KANU supremacists, well, left KANU, it is completely off.
Okay.
And that's where now...
That's where the party is
you
right
see what Jubilee went through. When Jubilee cracked and Ruto went with his people, Uhuru went with his people, however much, even if you bring Matiang'i, even if you bring even if you bring Obama to vie on Jubilee, it is done.
It's dead.
It is done.
Absolutely.
So where we are going with ODM, we are basically we have our local funerals where we dance during the funeral time, usiku na mchana. So those disco matangas, we are actually experiencing disco matangas as we speak in ODM. That's what we are doing. We are basically, it's dead. We are now dancing to waiting for the burial day. That's what is happening. Something must be done, and it's urgent. And when you see, the worst is that, and I really pity Baba. Some of us who have been to that mzee, we respect him. As much as we don't agree, you'll never hear me abusing Raila Odinga because he has a space in history.
Yeah.
And the young people don't understand that. They'll abuse him on social media, but some of us don't agree with him completely. We have even told him to his face, this is wrong, but you'll never hear us abusing him. But what is very bad to this Mzee is that the clique of people around him, they do not bother about his ideology, his principles, what he has built all these years. They want to destroy him completely. And he doesn't have that fighting spirit he used to have. He was strong. He could put his party in order. You could say, look, let's focus. This is not the first time ODM has had chaos, but he has stood up because he knew our agenda is to capture power.
When people are bashing Uhuru Kenyatta, wanasema Uhuru si mubaya.
Yes.
Wale wamemsuguka. That was the term.
Yeah, but it is...
So ODM has become...
It is true.
To that level.
It is true. People just want to hide. They don't want. Some of us have nothing to lose. I mean, we have lost everything. Okay. They have abused us as lawyers. They have said, you people, Nini, you can see Luo members of parliament abusing lawyers and they have nothing. You see, this is not the first time for members of parliament to disagree with the party. I mean, we have had almost 9 MPs from Nyanza working with the government. Okay. Contrary to the when the party was putting sufurias on the head in the streets, 9 Luo members of parliament were working with Ruto. Nobody abused them.
Yes. You say when you're out, you're out, you're in.
Yeah.
So where do you stand in this? Are you in broad-based? Are you not?
That I'm out. No.
What does it mean to be in broad-based? What are you supposed to do when you're in?
Well, I don't know.
You're inside something that you don't know, Mheshimiwa.
That's a question. That's why we follow the party. Don't we follow the rules of the party? And if you don't follow, they discipline you. And me, I've been disciplined many times, and therefore I don't need to be disciplined now, Manuel. So, the thing is, do we respect our party leader? When he stood at KICC, what did Baba meant to all of us? I mean, it's a question. And so for me, in my wisdom, the moment you stand there, I will respect. The day you'll stand again somewhere and say, now this has gone, I will respect. Because that's the decision of the party. You might like it or don't like it, but it's the decision of the party. And they say they sat as the central committee, the engine of the party, sat and decided. And all of them are saying the same words, all those leaders. Yeah? If you hear His Excellency himself, he's saying the same. When you hear the chair of the party, they are saying the same. When you hear this, so us who are just members, and especially members who are very new, to be honest, who have to just be listen. We are there to listen, not to be heard, and respect. And I have followed that. But after saying that, it's for me now to ask myself one question: what is the purpose of being in this thing when you find yourself with the same challenges you had when you were not in? It's the same challenges you're still. Will it be fair to the people even? No. So it is for me to do my best, Emmanuel. Because I can't say now Baba has to do for us. No. Baba says you use your brain. Use your brain. So I will use my brain to do what is right for the people of WT.
But you're still in broad-based that you don't agree with.
No, I didn't say I don't agree.
You said you're afraid that you'll be punished for saying what you want to say.
No, but you know the good thing I say. One thing I thank God is that I can say, because God gave me one thing. The day He told me you'll be a leader, I have blessed you to serve. He told me you'll take the worst, the pain, and the good. But it has to be for the good of the people. So I can't run away. In leadership, you don't run away. Even when it is hot, you take that mantle and decide, how do we cool it? Yeah.
That in support of the Secretary General,
yes,
Edwin Sifuna,
yes,
who are not in support of the broad-based government.
Exactly.
And there's a team.
Do they have a right? Yes.
They do.
Yes.
Then there's a team in Nyanza, mostly,
yes,
who are,
I wouldn't say Nyanza.
Most of them are from there, from what we've seen.
No, I have seen even in Western.
Yes, some part of it. Yeah.
And in Nairobi, we are quite a number.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are people who are saying we are full inside. The likes of Peter Kaluma,
yeah, from
Homa Bay.
Yes.
Gladys Wanga is also in
yes,
fully.
Who is our chair?
Who is your chair?
Exactly.
Your chair is saying this, your SG is saying another one.
No, me, I'll follow chair of the party.
Okay.
And by the way, SG can say, you know, as an SG also, he has his right as SG to say, as long as whatever he says in the end will harmonize the party. It has to harmonize the party. You can say this is wrong. It does not mean when you are inside there also you don't need to say, now this is not going right. We have to. In fact, the reason why we entered in was to rectify what is not right to be now good. And we have an opportunity. You see, one of the things that ODM we should always ask, in all this that has happened, what is God trying to tell us, Emmanuel? We wanted to be in power, isn't it? Today you have your CSs who are in power. Can they look at the manifesto that was of ODM and say, this is what the government of the day wanted, but we had this. Can we enhance to make it better so that even when people see us, they believe if we had taken power today, we would be doing the right thing for Kenya also.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter who takes over, but can you harmonize what is there and make sure when you're going out there, you say, as ODM on this pillar of economic, we had agreed on this and this. We have tried to convince the president, and this is what we are bringing on the table on behalf of ODM to make sure we enhance this other policy so that we achieve, we would have seen good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Before I get to you, Caleb, I just want to tell our listeners and our viewers that you can send your questions on our WhatsApp line 0700-969696, 0700-969696, and we are live on TikTok at Hot 96 FM Kenya. So you can watch actually the conversation that we're having here, and we'll be uploading all this content also on YouTube. So, Caleb Amisi, I'll ask you the same question. Are you in or out of broad-based government? Where are you?
It depends how you define a broad-based government, what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you define what is a broad-based government?
It's a government that brings in ODM and UDA together.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but how does it bring in? Because there is a way of
There's some experts from your end who are in government.
If you are struggling to explain what you have asked me, how do you expect me to answer you?
But you're a member of ODM, I'm not.
Yeah, but I'm not a member of broad-based. That's a term that has come from you, so you know it better. I wanted you to explain what is broad-based according to you. Then I'll know what I'm answering. But if you just put truth, right, so I'm struggling to answer it.
Okay, you understand?
Because me, I do not understand it. Honestly, I do not know what it is. We've had coalition governments before. We had during the Kibaki time. We had coalition governments that had some coalition agreements, some form of collaboration, convergence of ideas, and they ran the government the way it was ran. We've had coalitions government before. In South Africa, currently we have a coalition government. In Israel, we have had coalition government for the longest. I think it is only in US that we've not had because of the two extremes. But in most countries, I think even German, we have had coalition governments. So you have to explain what we have in Kenya. Coalition governments are known. You make if it is one party joining another party or merging together, you call it a merger. ANC has merged with UDA. You call it a merger.
It's actually been collapsed.
Yeah, collapse. That's a merger.
There's nothing like ANC now.
And you form a coalition government, you can say we are forming a coalition government where this party will manage these ministries and this party will manage these ministries. Yeah, then it is a formalized and it is something that is legalized by the office of the Registrar of Political Parties. It is known. There are acts, Political Party Act, that guides how coalition are made. So you have to explain to me what is broad-based.
Where should I just to
No.
Let's not make it difficult.
I don't want this media narrative that have no direction. You have to tell me exactly why should I support Sifuna? Is he vying for anything? Or
okay, do you support his sentiments?
Which sentiment? He has spoken so many things.
He has said, okay, let me give you some of the things that he said. Number one, he says they are not in support of this government, that he is not support of President William Ruto, and that he is not in support of the current working arrangement between ODM and UDA, because the 10-point agenda that was signed, I think in March, has not been honored.
You have to ask me whether I support the government.
You're evading this question, Mheshimiwa.
I cannot. I don't want to put myself where media has their own narratives.
Are you afraid of punishment?
It's not punishment. I'm never afraid of anything. Which punishment? From where?
From your party?
No. Nobody can punish me.
But what do you make of this arrangement between your party and UDA? Do you support it?
So that
there was a deal that was signed, an MOU, in March, between President William Ruto and
what
ODM leader Raila Odinga. The MOU was to deal with 10 points.
Yes.
You know them.
Yes.
So, have those points been agreed upon?
That is an MOU that I'm not aware. A party has structures. Before we reach an MOU by the structure by the party, we will be called for a PG. We'll be told this is what we are going to do. During the handshake time with President Uhuru, we were called in a PG. We were told now we want to work with together because Uhuru has decided that Baba will be a president, and we joined hands because we knew Baba is going to be a president. So in this MOU, I do not know the outcome. I don't know what it is, so I cannot support nor object.
Okay, you are recently in an event where you said that Natembeya would make the best president if he was given a chance.
Maybe you play the clip of that event.
Mheshimiwa, you've been quoted saying that.
Let me see.
We'll get that. Yeah. But just tell us, you've been breathing hot and cold as well in terms of the ODM party?
It's not hot and cold. I've been very categorical against Ruto's government. And it is not hot and cold. It is in the public domain.
Okay.
I do not agree how Ruto is running the government. The pronouncement by his CSS on killing young people, how to handle protests, how to handle economy, how to run the government. I've been very categorical, open. There's no cold and hot. I've been very categorical in public, wherever, in bed, when I'm sleeping. I've told my wife the same thing. So there's nothing of plain cold and hot. I'm very open everywhere. People know I do not agree. Until he changes, that's when I'll support him. But for now, I do not support him.
Okay.
They need to have, you see, ever since we agreed, we needed to have sat down as a party, go for a retreat, do the pros and cons. You know, for me, and I'm sorry to say this, I was used in a place where when you go for an election and you finish, you come, you sit down, you analyze. What made you go this way or this way? What were the reasons? We have never done, or maybe it is being done by a few, and then you'll come and unveil it, I don't know. But it is very important. You go for a PG, you analyze, you ask yourself, what is your strength? Even after the Gen Zs, we needed to have gone as a PG of ourselves as a party and say, what is this that our young people are questioning? How is it that the party can pick a few of them? What was in our manifesto to see how to reorganize things for young people? Is it a way that we can now make it an agenda, an advocacy to push and see that we help? Number one. Number two, now you have come into this fight. You needed again to go and sit down with those who went as experts, have a meeting, all of you, and say, look, we are now here. We have safeguarded the country. Baba has agreed 1, 2, 3. We need now to look at a clear framework. How do you engage? How do you work? What are we doing? Per region, per region. What is our agenda? Where does it reach? Where does it start? Where does it end? But if you leave it, 2 people know, 3, that is why people lose elections. Because you are doing it as if it is your own thing. You are forgetting it is teamwork. That's where William beats everyone. Teamwork. And the day we learn, the day we become smarter. So even if we are saying all this, and we have not planned, we have not done, who do you blame? Where do we start? I know now we are pushing in the delegates and all that. You can see, we started the delegates last year. Some of us did very serious elections. All of a sudden you are told, no, you have to harmonize, you have to do this. You don't do that to the party. No.
The buck stops with him.
No, what about if Baba had gone to AU? Are you saying this leadership
if Baba now says that we're done with his
I've asked one question, and people should be asking that. So today, if Baba was at AU, how would we be running the party? We would have killed Baba's party in one day. Because that's what I'm seeing. That if he was not there, it seems we will not have had the party now. So they must awaken themselves and ask themselves, if indeed we were serious to tell Baba we can protect this party, we can take care of this party, isn't it good for harmonization of the leaders first?
Okay, let me ask you this.
Fair, first of all, they sit, they listen to the chair, you give your views, because ODM party, even there's democracy. Whatever the majority will say there, they will pick. Then you bring it to the people and say, this is what we feel. This is where we are going. How are we helping our young people who have been in the party, struggled with the party for many years? What is this that they can then benefit? Since we've entered broad-based, what is this that we can benefit our young people also?
Okay.
They are the ones who started all these things Gen Zs are telling us. The Gen Zs of ODM have done it for many years, for 30 years. The ones for Western, 30 years. They've been in the party 30 years. Yeah.
This was a Gen Z at some point.
Yeah, 30 years. These ones, they have worked.
Especially me.
Yeah. For you to get the new constitution, for you to get Article 35, 37 that you enjoy. Millie Odhiambo, when she was a Gen Z, fought for it. Yes.
What do you make of Raila's choices and decisions? You say when Baba says left, ni left.
Yeah, ndio.
Baba akisema right,
Ni right.
akisema ruka, tunasema ni how high.
How high?
So Baba sasa akisema mambo ya broad based imeachana nao.
Hoi, tutaruka so high. It's not the first time. Tutaruka so high. It is important to say when you are in, have the consciousness of saying you are in.
Okay.
And have the consciousness the day you say you are out. But do not be a chameleon where you double speak yourself. There you mess up. You mess up the team, you mess up the party. But more importantly, in all the processes that Baba has been in, look at him. Baba was never, when he enters, when you look at Moi, he went until the end. He gets out when he knows now we are open to go to an election. That's how he will never destabilize a country. Let's be very honest.
Okay.
When he joined Uhuru, he stood with Uhuru until the election time, isn't it? Did he leave Uhuru anywhere? No. Did he leave Kibaki anywhere? No. He stands. He knows.
He actually said he will be with Ruto until 2027.
Yes, because he knows you don't need to stabilize the country for now.
Okay.
So for now, if we are smart and we want to go into power in 2027 and remove William, fine. But don't we organize? He has given us an opportunity. Organize ourselves now.
You're saying that you don't agree with William Ruto. Asubuhi saa 7 jioni ukilala, ukiamka you don't.
Somehow excited the young people, the hustlers. They thought there is some change from the old order of doing politics. We've had the same cabal of leaders, more or less with the same ideas of running a government. So they got excited with him. He was a bit younger, moneyed, progressive. He was energetic, and he excited people. But when he took over power, that change that people hoped from him was not there. Number one, the economy has been growing from worse to worse. The management, from the way he chose his cabinet and putting in people who do not have the professional acumen to run a nation. And you could just see basically politicians who have no idea that those politicians we know who are also capable of running a public office. But we saw a president who did not care with the management of the nation. We saw a president who just orders police officers to shoot. We have law in this country. Why can't you just say Kenyans, please obey the law, or you'll fall in the wrong hands? Police officers, please, you are here for the service. I know we have young people who are misbehaving. Please catch them, put them in a cell, let them also be punished by the law. That is what a president needs to do. You don't need, as a president, who carries the power of the hierarchy of orders, you don't need to pronounce yourself before the public to shoot young people.
Okay.
These are very innocent young people. They need guidance.
Okay.
It's not that we are not abused. Even me in my constituency, the young people abuse me on a daily basis. Even those that you've helped, they'll still come tomorrow and abuse you. I don't go on beating them. I'll just call them one day and say that you guys, this is how it is done. This is how it is. Stop doing this. And sometimes they just get to know and they change. So as a president, he has failed.
Okay.
He has failed. This is not the kind of president I will sit here and pretend that I like this president to take this country anyway. We have credible leaders in this country. One person cannot just fail the 55 million of us. We need to stand up and say this is a wrong person. He can do something else. He can be a CEO of a company. He can run his farms. He can become a business person. He can open an NGO. He can also open a matatu company and run like the sun. And we'll support him from wherever corner. But management of a nation is such a serious thing that needs a sober mind, progressive person, a person who knows what to do, what to say, how, and not emotionally sensitive. Okay. There is what we call emotional intelligence. You must have it as a leader. You cannot just respond to anybody who has talked to you, even if it's Sifuna or Caleb. Don't go on hitting on every person, Tom, Dick, and Harry who questions your leadership. You will not rule like a nation. So he lacks that capacity to be a father of a nation.
What if there's an NDC, National Delegates Convention of your party, in October 25th this year? What if your party says they're going to support President William Ruto, as Baba said, until 2027 and even post 2027? Will you vote for him?
I, Caleb Amisi, will not vote for William Ruto.
So you go against the party position?
The only reason why I'll vote for William Ruto is when he changes his ways. I am not against William Ruto as a person. I'm against his leadership. He must change his ways of leading.
What should he change for you to vote for him?
He must put order. He must obey the constitution. That in everything he does and says in public, he must know that we have a constitution. You cannot just break it and make pronouncement that shows lawlessness, anarchy. Pronouncement that shows that we do not have a constitution. We are living in medieval period. He must change that. He must also put people who are credible in the governance of this nation. In the parastatals, we must see people who are credible. And a president cannot rule everything. He cannot know everything. But you must work with people. How Singapore and the ASEAN countries developed, it was not one individual. It was one president with a team of ministers who were also aligned to his development goals.
And there's one for you. What are the ODM fighting for? Is it good governance or to keep the already dictatorial government in power?
Well, I would wish somebody to start how we remove William. I will support. But if you haven't started and you're asking me that question, I'm wondering what to tell you. How I wish somebody can show me this is the way we are removing him in power and we are getting a new president in power, not the army, not chaos, not anarchy. I will really support. But if we don't have that solution for now, I will keep the solution we have for now, for a better way of preparing. You see what we, and I pray to Kenyans, prepare well and prepare well how to remove the president. This many talks we are talking here is not going to help us. It is preparing well to the end. And that process is not a joke. It's a very serious process. So when you want to remove and you say, what do you want us to do? Let Kenya flop, sink. Then we shall wake up. Tell us how we are waking up. Nobody is giving us the answer. Here we are saying follow the constitution. What does the constitution of Kenya say? It says you remove the president, you impeach him, bring the impeachment, get the numbers, remove him. We put in Kindiki. We see whether he will also run the country properly. Because he's there, he's the deputy president. So when Kenyans are telling us that without a good answer, it's not fair also. When you ask such a question, what do you expect somebody to tell you? You know what our constitution says. You are the ones who are saying he's not following the constitution. Here we want now to not follow the constitution. I don't think it's fair.
Okay.
And number two, in all this, nobody, even us, as members of parliament, what are we doing good in everything? No, we should not lie. We should. The problem with us as a country, as a people, is that it is us who fail ourselves. And one thing I have said, and I'll say to my uncles even today in Central, when you were proving to us that you need a president, you voted for William. Now, when you have a problem with him, you do not come and tell those who never voted for him that he is bad. We don't know the badness. We don't know. Because we voted for Baba, who was good to us. But you told us he's old. You told us he can't do it. We accepted. Now you can't come and tell me, after your cake is now bad, I am supposed to now make this cake good. No. No. You need to come and sort out the problem you brought. We were with Uhuru. You told Uhuru everything. You even told him, we do not know, we do not care, we will wake up. You did it right. So, why can't you await the right time to sort again the mess? The good thing we can do, and even I said yesterday when I was in Western, you cannot point fingers to different tribes and say, We are the ones who know how to bring the president. What you are trying to do is to bring all small tribes together to survive, and there will be one big tribe. So what are you going to do when they prove that indeed? And they will not be voting for the president because maybe they like him. They will be voting to prove that, look, you do not ignore us in the equation of how to bring good governance in Kenya. And so they will vote for him. And then you will have won what? You will have gained what? So let us stop that chest thumping. And we now ask ourselves, those who want to remove the president, plan. Start your actions plan today without telling us. Others are not talking. Do you know what they are planning? You have no idea what they are planning. Okay. You have no idea what they are thinking. So don't do that. Let us not do that. And I said it deliberately because even in Kiamaiko, that fight was there and the whole thing goes into haywire like that, Emmanuel. Properties are just banned because of small things. It's not good for Nairobi.
All right.
It's not good.
Okay, yes. Madago. So, Mheshimiwa Caleb, we are live on TikTok, and
yes.
I'm seeing some raging conversation there. People are saying 1 term, 2 term. Others are saying no term. Where do you stand? And do you think President William Ruto will get another term in 2027?
Knows what Kenyans want. He needs to convince them for another term. Another term does not just come on a silver platter. I mean, presidents have gone home without convincing the people. Zambia here, the president went home halfway. Nigeria, it has happened. South Africa, a president has been even impeached halfway. Moi, after 24 years, he went home and with his protege, Uhuru Kenyatta. And the president have also been re-elected severally. In fact, people have even demanded for even more terms of those leaders. So a president, like any other leader, he needs just to convince like me, I have to convince my people whether I'll be 2 term, 3 term now. So it is up to him to convince Kenyans. Mine, he has not convinced me yet, mine as an individual.
Okay.
So of course
let me ask it this way, because you've been evading questions today.
I'm answering correctly as you ask.
Okay. So would you like to see him coming again?
At this point in time, no. I've been very categorical until he changes his ways. At this point in time, no. My vote is no. My vote is he goes home. And it does not matter. People asking, so if he goes home, who comes? These other people, they have not messed up. He has messed up. So already I've seen his bad side.
Okay.
So if there's another person, he'll have to come here. But somebody must fill that space. For me, my vote is no.
Okay. There's somebody who agrees with you. He's called Alex. Alex who? Alex Ngetich from Mogotio, that is in Baringo. He says, I'm against the leadership of President William Ruto. He has done nothing to this country. The journey to Sugoi is unstoppable. Do you agree?
Well, for me, let me not say I agree or disagree. Because one thing I fear about Kenyans.
You guys are very calculative today. You're so cautious with your answers.
I'm not cautious. You wait what I'm saying.
Okay.
We are very deceitful. Sorry. Very deceitful. We talk about the day of the debe. You just bring a crazy thing and you wonder what happened. So, Kenyans, we await you in the debe to tell us. But for now, I will not even say. He will be there, by the way. He will be there. Until Kenyans stop being deceitful, saying this, and then the day we go in our vote, we decide, now we are tribal.
Okay.
This tribe, no. That's how we vote.
All right.
Yeah. Until we remove tribalism completely on our vote. Are you seeing? You see, we started like a joke. Let me say this, Emmanuel. So we started like a joke, playing around with words. You need shares, you need this. What have we done to the country? We've regionalized the countries now. All the work we did with Uhuru Kenyatta, all from 2013, trying to say, have one Kenya, let us not be tribal. Where? We went back, we are on the drawing board. Everyone is trying to come and look for shares. Where did it start from? That was the most unfortunate word to say. But it is there, and now every tribe is scratching, looking for it. Then now we move. So if we are looking for shares, the president will look for shares, isn't it? It is for the same way I'll go on that ground to convince, by the way, is the same way he's going to the ground to convince.
Okay.
It's the same way. We might say he's not done this, he's not done this. I don't know what is supposed to be done, because the problem is also we are not saying all these policies that were passed that we are saying are bad were passed when this team was still together.
Okay.
I haven't seen Kindiki's policy yet.
All right.
So I will not say there was Kindiki.
Okay.
These are policies that they are saying good, bad. They were passed together. I remember we used to sing our song every day. This is wrong, this is bad. So we have moved now with the policy. We can see things are coming up. That housing is coming up. You want to burn it down? I don't know. That SHA we have fought. Today, slowly by slowly, it is just building into the people, period.
We want to listen to the president, who is actually jetted out of the country this evening to Ethiopia. There is a conference, it's called Food Systems Reform at UN Summit in Ethiopia. And we want to listen to what he said earlier this week, and then we transition to the next topic.
I hear my brothers and sisters say, let Ruto go, then we will figure out. To me, that sounds like the wash conmanship. One term, Kasongo, Ruto must go, is not enough. Just like those who were there before me, my time will come and I will go.
Thank you very much. Do you want to say anything?
One word.
Yeah.
Convince me with the right policy. But don't say exactly what he has said. Don't. Because it came when you were together.
Okay.
Convince me with the right, and don't tell me when you come in fasting, he goes, even me, I'll say the same. So the country sinks as we wait for a new policy. No.
Okay.
One word, like I said, it doesn't sound like a presidential material. It sounds like an MCA, a member of county assembly down there in a local village. It doesn't sound like a father of a nation. That if you put his speech among other president's speech, you'll find his speech way out of touch with what a president needs to say.
Okay. And let's listen to what Waziri, the expert that you donated to government, had to say in Parliament this week.
We don't have the capacity as at now to finance free primary, free secondary.
Okay. We don't have the capacity to finance. He says we've been living a lie.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on. There's another bite. We just want to play them quickly. I think 2 days later, I think yesterday, this is what he had to say. CS Mbadi.
Get the bursary money, mop it up from GAF, from NGCDF, from county bursary if they want to negotiate with us. We put it in one basket and give it to all children in Kenya.
Thank you. And then there was a lot of reaction that came up from that, and one of it was from the president today, and this is what he had to say.
Hiyo mpango. So I just want to give assurance that education cannot be compromised. We cannot compromise access. We cannot compromise quality. We cannot.
There will be no learning in public universities in Kenya. We are the ones who control Gen Zs. We will release them to you if you are joking. We will release those Gen Zs in the 40 public universities. How can you imagine that you can retrench or lay off learned people? You think these are gunias that you can lay off anytime you feel like? These are people who have chewed books. You cannot lay them off.
There was actually a conversation that universities may not get the correct funding, and the Committee for Education actually visited help offices, and they said there's a crisis, and we may have to lay off a few.
So
yes.
Say they want to lay off, honestly.
They got that comment from the visit they made to help offices, that to survive, we may have to cut some weight that we are carrying.
You see, now, one of the things, I'll say this in education, which I'm always very passionate. Number one, what we need to think through. All of us, even those who are saying they will release Gen Zs, you release Gen Zs, fine. You have not helped the university, have you? So the day we stopped the model funding and we said we are going back on the drawing board, where is the team? That's a question we should be asking ourselves. That time when we said band 1, band 2, band 4 is not functioning, where is the team that now brought the right way of doing the system, the application that we are using to know which band you should be thrown in? Did we end, or we just left it at that? Now we are back here. We went back to help. Where are we? Number 2, honestly, it's us. This one, as much as members of parliament will think I'm saying crazy things, we are the ones who have just put that mess. Because the moment the budget came, what did the policy statement say? And why didn't we question the policy statement? Does it mean we are not reading these things when they come to parliament? Why didn't we question the policy statement and say, this policy statement says 22,000. Now, when we look at the budget you have brought, the projections are not tallying with the 22. Where do we now tell ourselves we will remove from here and ensure the 22 goes? We kept quiet. We passed the budget. You can't go back to the minister and tell him. He will tell you, this is the budget you passed on the floor of the house. I have calculated. That's why Badi is able to say like that and throw back the ball to us. But then now let us go to help, honestly. When we agreed and when the Gen Z said, this model is not the best, we needed to have just gone back on the drawing board. And I hope the Committee of Education went back to the drawing board and went to a retreat somewhere and say, that band, let's see the testing. How is it that a child who is this is able to get this and this one is not able? How can we balance so that, because education equalizes, we don't find a lot of disparities, but at the same time we must question ourselves. So me who is able, let's say for example the examination fee, you want to tell me now I'm unable to pay for my child to go for examination fee? Honestly, you see this thing also of making, if we want to make it equal, fine, equalize it to ensure not any child, without looking at this is a child of so and so, this one, as long as they are within the public, what we call public. Okay. But at the same time, the last thing I'll say, the last time I had, it was 163 students who are not going to get help. I also question, how? Why is it that the ministry has completely refused to give us these chemists? We keep on saying, oh, the chemist is coming. Chemist is coming, and we are having confusion. And we are about to have another big confusion when these students are about to join university. Like us, we are being, every parent is coming. My child is joining university, I don't have this. My child is joining MTC, I don't have this. It is because you want to tell me even when they were doing the exams, we could not give them the chemist, so that you just know, I have 3 million children. I have 2 million who are joining university. It was
a math problem.
Yes.
It's math.
It's because, no. It's a way of just doing corruption, Emmanuel. Because if you have data of your children in the country, you will never miss. And even maybe the money, you imagine, we give them roughly 700 billion. That goes to education. You can't tell me in 700 billion, we are unable completely to just get the figures right of what university students will need, of what our junior secondary will need, and what our primary and what those who are going now to university will need. It is very unfair. And you can't tell me, if you get the numbers right, we will spend more than 200 billion. No. I always believe we will have even better. It will be more better. I know Waziri promised, they will bring chemists. But for now, he needs to promise the country, we are not going to chaos when these university students are joining, to start saying, and help must be ready. Didn't we know from last year we have students who are coming in? I mean, it's very unfair. Okay. And that is one thing now, you can't bring in the president. No, it is you, the technical team. How I wish you would be saying, we have our data, we have everything. It is here where we have a problem. But nobody's even giving you the data, Emmanuel. Nobody's telling you how these children are moving. And at the same time, we want now to make it a political issue. And it is unfortunate. Even us in Parliament, we are about to play the political So what was the purpose of being given the powers with this constitution?
Caleb,
Yes.
you went to Starehe
Yeah.
Boys Center, National School. You scored very highly.
Yes,
And,
that is one of the model school. You will see people have gone to Starehe exhibiting different characters, even in public service, in jobs. They are quite different because we are trained differently. Starehe is not just an ascent of excellence, it's also a ascent of character development, morals and values. And sometimes I feel sick, and when you see leaders talk. Somebody says that hii nchi tugawane, tuuze tugawane, kila mtu aende na kipande yake. I think that's where we are going, because it looks like despair of the highest. We've really reached the boiling point. Nobody wants to stand up to rescue. People are hiding in wards. People are hiding in offices. You wonder, why will we even be talking about matters of education? Where is the Minister for Education? I mean, why should even the President be talking about education? Why not the Minister? Why are we having a Ministry of Education? Why do we even talk with things why should Mbadi be talking about matters of education? His work is just to collect money and reallocate and develop economic policies for the nation. Why will he be strained talking about education in funerals in Nyatike? I mean, we pity our generation. I think on behalf of the coming generation, we just need to apologize. I personally, Caleb, I apologize for the coming generation. We've let them down. This is not the country you can be bequeathed with and be happy. You find people are just in their own world. Nobody wants to stand up. We have a Ministry of Education. Where is the minister? This is a person who, when there is a crisis, he needs to come and put things in open and say, Kenyans, this is how we have decided. It's not the business of the members of parliament. Parliament is oversight, representation, making laws. Is not to allocate and fire lecturers. It's not our business to go and intervene in university councils. We can only, in fact, even what they say, parliament is a budget making parliament. We are not. We just appropriate. These budgets are developed by ministries. Ministries develop policies. They know what they want to plan for their new financial year. They take to the treasury. Treasury brings us a budget policy statement. You cannot get money from transport and put in education as a parliament. So you cannot say, parliament, you can do this, parliament, you can. We are asking parliament too much. That's not in our law. When the government takes over, it knows exactly what was their policies.
Yes. Okay.
We have no business as Caleb Amis, who did not believe in UDA, to start helping them in matters of education because they have a policy. So running down education system could have been one of their policies. You never know. Maybe they're just implementing their manifesto and they were struggling, crying. They are simply implementing their manifesto. If you give me Caleb Amis the presidency, I'll do something different. And I will have my members of the party to enable me achieve that one in parliament. So what we are doing, we are actually observing and seeing what Jubilee or UDA manifesto or Kenya Kwanza manifesto was.
Okay.
Simple.
Okay, so Mheshimiwa, there's a suggestion from the CS to move it forward that we collapse and mop up all these funds in the NGCDF, the one that is in contention, War Development Fund and all that, and bring them together so that they fund everybody. Do you agree with that?
CS has become a politician, and it's so unfortunate. He just talk. As a CS of Treasury, you should be given us figures. You should be saying the cost of primary education is this. The data of children getting to primary education is this. The amount available for CDF is this much. Amount available for NGAF is this much. 1 + 1 = 2. But just talking the normal speeches we make in a funeral, nobody is able to believe you. Nobody is able to know you are honest, so you are just playing politics. So he should have come up as a minister for treasury. I have considered this is a policy before Parliament. He comes to read to us. Then from there we can agree with him or not agree. Otherwise, he's just playing politics, which is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that even to the children of our country, we are still playing politics. You are at the center of the resource allocation and you cannot give us data. You are just talking. You are just talking. It should have come and say, CDF is this one. It is very easy. In fact, nobody wants who will not support, really, who will not support free primary education. Nobody will go against free primary education.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not a question of do you agree or do you support. It is, of course, what everybody wants for. But what you need to do as a minister, give us the data. Say this is the amount of money we have collected and we believe it can go to free primary education. You don't need to say in funeral. You just act. And you appropriate. You develop a policy and you send it to Parliament and we pass.
You agreed with it in the first instance before we came into this conversation that it's okay to bring them together.
Oh, yeah. If it is going now to give free education, I release. Absolutely.
Release your kitty.
Yeah.
How much do you get per
No, it depends. You know, some of them will take 50, some will take more, depending with
50
their
million.
words. Because we cannot be part of saying we want our children to go to education, and then at the same time, we are the ones, again, having all this, oh, why is it this, not this way? We just need to sit down and ask ourselves, if the 22 is there or not there, how do we ensure that, number one, whatever we get also as, we can ensure the day schools especially will not have the same challenge. How? How can we help our constituencies with what we have to ensure the day schools can move on? Because when you get to the boarding schools are a bit tough. And you know, for example, in Dagoretti North, I'll find myself with the national schools, schools that are able to go, schools, a few of them, yes, we supported. But our day schools, I want to tell all our members, and by the way, I want to tell our members of parliament also today, these challenges we face in education, it is us who brought. Why did we decide to build so many schools knowing, number one, what are the parameters when you have a school? You need teachers with TSC numbers.
Yes.
You need to ensure the school is effective. Mm-hmm. It has the facility that you need. But we just went in a spree of every time you build a school, you build a school. So today we are in this crisis also. Part of the problem, us. Part of the problem. Because if we looked at the numbers of our children in the rural, vis-a-vis, you find a school you're struggling with. You need TSC numbers. You need TSC teachers. But you find a school with only 200 kids. Is that fair? It was not fair. We did not do economically to see that framework. And we should not continue even trying to build schools. We should now enhance what we have, building the JSS inside a school that you already have. But don't tell me again now we are going to do a spree and knowing very well we don't have the teachers, we don't have the resources to bring the teachers, we are struggling, we are part of that problem. Okay. That one I'll tell you. In education, I will not mince my words. We want to hate each other, let us hate. Let us ensure, even us, because we have a kitty, that these children are not going to lack to go to school. And they're not going to be chased on the road every day, going to look for school fees. And also, we need to sit down and ask ourselves, if a school has run itself the whole term, let's say, for example, they've been running with the 16,000, isn't it? Why is it then we cannot just be honest and say it is 16,000, it is workable, because children don't go. They are able to sustain until the end. We have good, I'll tell you, a few head teachers who are doing very well with the little they have. You'll never find in that school a pending bill. We have others who have good parents who are paying the school fees very well, but they are in pending bills of even 64 million.
Okay.
I won't say which one, which is very sad. So it is not about even the money. It's also about who is this running the school? Are you fair to the kids, or have you come to retire? Because there is another challenge we are facing. When a teacher is about to retire, They just look. I want to thank my teacher at Moi Girls Vokoli, who stood for that school 12 years, has left the school, and I'm hoping the one who has come in will never have a pending bill. Mwalimu never used to have a pending bill, and will even have resources remaining, and you'll see her infrastructure.
Okay.
I want to thank Jane in Lavington. She's another one. She came when the school had quite a huge sum of money, but today she has no pending bill. Today she has done her infrastructure and many others. So it is not about the money. I want to plead also with our team. It's not about, it is for you and how you plan.